So I want to make this video today, a very quick video hopefully. I don't want it to be too long. I haven't uploaded on this channel in a very long time. It's just that today I had a really important and invoking conversation with an individual that I have a lot of respect for, that I'm good friends with. And it was really interesting because today I was pretty lazy. Lately I've been really lazy. And I consider myself someone with a lot of discipline, but that's kind of compared to like the average people of like just the general population. And if you're watching this video, you're probably someone has high aspirations in life, and you kind of, if you have confidence in yourself, you believe that you're pretty disciplined, but that kind of belief in your own discipline is compared to the general population, which is like the general population, let's be honest, they're not doing anything. So for you to consider yourself pretty disciplined by normal standards isn't really a compliment. And for the longest time, that's kind of what I had in my mind. That's kind of where I was like, I'm disciplined, I'm strong, I can do all these things, but I never really considered to myself that there's this subset, I never really considered to myself that there's this group of people that just have the same mindset as me, but they work harder. There's always someone like out there working harder than me. And when I was in high school, I didn't really see that because, you're in your little group of what? There's like 400,000 or 500,000 people in your school. And yeah, you can be the hardest working guy there, but once you really go out into the open world, I've noticed that there's so many hardworking people around me, and if I truly do not get ahead of them, I'm going to fall behind. And me and this guy, we were talking, relating it all to kind of bodybuilding, because that's like the main passion I have right now. And the way that I approach bodybuilding, it's just clicking to me. Like if I approach everything else in life in the way that I approach that pursuit, I'm going to be successful in everything because I make no excuses for myself. I have this voice in my head that forces me to do the work when I don't want to do the work. And the most important part, I genuinely enjoy the struggle and the suffering of it. Like a lot of people, they don't like dieting, but I love the dieting because it's difficult. A lot of people don't love training when they're depleted and tired, but I love it because it's difficult. I love things because they're difficult, because they make me feel like I've actually done something with myself. And that feeling of having actually done something, that feeling of I'm better than I was yesterday, is the feeling that we should all chase in this life. That's what I truly believe. I believe that there's no use just staying as you are. There's no use comforting yourself and telling yourself that you're good at this, that you've achieved enough today, that you've done enough, because there's always more that you can do. Your body has so much potential that you just don't realize. That's why people like David Goggins, to the people who think that he's cringe, it's just pathetic, because this guy is one of the most inspirational and cool ass people I've ever witnessed in my entire life, because he takes what he's been given by God and literally manifests it into the most unbelievable thing ever. He's given the most difficult life you can possibly think of, and this guy persevered through that shit like it was absolutely nothing. He failed so many times, but he kept getting back up and he kept pushing through it, and just makes you wonder, like, what is the limit of the human body? Like, what can't we do if we actually put our mind to it? Like, they always said back in the day, if you believe it, you can achieve it. And it was so cringe, and people cringe at that now. But like, actually, if you believe it, why can't you do it? If you put something in your mind and you tell yourself, I can do this, why can't you do it? Like, once you get more advanced into kind of like trying to better yourself, your body will try and resist. Your body will kind of just like give you reasons to be lazy. Like, you'll wake up in the morning. This is kind of like a personal example, but like, you wake up in the morning and you won't want to go on your phone, but something just urges you to go on it, and you end up going on it. And eventually, once you kind of fall down that rabbit hole, you just kind of can't stop yourself until something happens. Like, there's an event in your life where you're like, screw this, I'm going back to becoming better. But then for a lot of people, including me, once you get better again, you fall back into that hole. And it's just like a repetitive cycle of endless being good and then being not good, and just succeeding in things and being productive and doing what you got to do, and then another week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or a year, you just get lazy and you slack off. And it's crazy because like this time, you don't get the time back, the time is just moving, and before you know it, like, I wake up, I'm like, holy crap, I'm 18 years old, I'm almost 19, I'm gonna be 19 next year. I remember being 16 and thinking, oh, I have so much time ahead of me, I have time to develop myself and get better. I've changed so much in 2 years, imagine the next 2 years how much better I'll get. It didn't really end up like that. And yes, there's kind of the thing where it's like, oh, I'm comparing myself to people who are way ahead of me and I'm not being realistic. Well, why would I be realistic? Do you know how capable the human body is of working hard? You can work hard, and no matter how hard you're working right now, you can do more. That's the beauty of us as humans. We can always do more. There's no limit. Think of David Goggins. Do you think there's a limit to what that guy can do? That dude's mind is literally a castle. It's been built through so much difficulty and stress and everything, and yet he's still, every single day, this guy's making millions of dollars. He's literally studying. He's making millions of dollars. This guy, he's in the best shape that pretty much anyone can be in. He's lean, he's shredded, he's got good muscle, everything. He's 50 plus years old, probably 49, whatever. This guy goes and still runs 20 miles every day pretty much. Oh, it's bad for your health. Oh, it's not good. Like, who cares? The human body will adapt to these stresses that you put on it. It's like when you go to the gym. Let me give bodybuilding as the example again, because that's what I'm really used to. You go, you put your body under this stress. It's like you're literally tearing down the muscle. You're breaking the muscle, but your body builds it back. If you've never studied for 2 hours straight and you study for 2 hours straight, the next day you can do it a little easier and a little easier and a little, you're progressing. Just like that, you're progressing. Work harder. That's the bottom line of this video. I know it's kind of all over the place. I'm talking like, I have no script. I'm literally just talking from my head right now. Like, work harder. You can work harder. And I'm mainly making this video for myself to look back on, because there's so many times where I feel like I'm at my limit. I feel so tired. I feel like I'm just dead. I make excuses for myself. I'm like, I train so hard at the gym, I can't have focus because my CNS is messed up. Or I make like the dumbest excuses ever. And it's not even me talking, it's just my mind trying to make excuses for being lazy. And I'm sitting here with my school homepage open right now, and I'm like, I got 3 exams this week in 2 days. I gotta work, man. There's so many responsibilities. Like, you're given this life. What are you gonna do with it? You gotta put in the work. It's so simple. I mean, it's the most simple procedure and no one does it. Why? Because it's difficult. If you enjoy that difficulty, what is your limit? Seriously, like, if you enjoy difficulty, if you enjoy failure, which is really like, sounds contradictory, like we're programmed not to like that kind of stuff, but if you tap into like that little demon inside your head that enjoys that kind of thing, you will literally be unstoppable. And there have been times in my life where I've tapped into that little, just that, I don't know what that voice, like the demon in my head, I don't know what it is, but my God, it is so powerful. Like, I could just sit there and endlessly work. I wouldn't have had a meal for like 6 hours. And keep in mind, like I'm pretty big. Like I'm 200 pounds, 5'10", 5'11". I need to eat, right? 6 hours I haven't eaten anything. I'm hungry. I get to work, I'm laser sharp for an hour and a half. No food, no hunger. Your body just dismisses it. Because once you put your focus on one thing, everything else disappears. And if you can get into that flow state, you will literally be unstoppable in anything you do. So I understand this video is all over the place, but I just want to make it to tell you that you can work harder, you can be better, because you are not as good as you think you are. There's so many people out there that are better than you, that are working harder than you, achieving more than you, and you need to find a way to be better than them. If you can, think of something that you're better than pretty much everybody you know at. For me, it would be bodybuilding. I have probably the best natural physique for an 18-year-old that I have actually seen. I'm not counting social media because who knows who's natural there, but like, not to boast about myself, but that's genuinely the truth. Why have I developed such a good physique? Sure, genetics. You could say genetics. I think that's a load of crap for the most part. It's because people at my age go to the gym. But the thing that separates me is that I go consistently and I eat consistently and I sleep consistently. I have everything locked in. Other people don't. Let's say you're trying to aspire to become something great in terms of education, like becoming a doctor. Everyone's going to study hard. Everyone who's serious about being a doctor is going to study hard. You have to find other ways to beat other people. You're in a competition your entire life. This is the matrix. You're literally competing with people. You need to be better than them in some way. Study as hard as you possibly can, but there's other things that you can do to be better than people. Like what? Volunteer somewhere. Get work experience. Get connections with other doctors and people who've gone through the process that you have not yet gone through. Get experience in these things. Get ahead of other people. It's that simple. Like, you just need to get ahead of other people. You need to work harder. There's so much more that you can do. I used to make the excuse that I can't eat while working at the same time. Why not? You can watch a lecture while eating. You know, like, there's so many things. Your mind makes excuses for yourself. Just work harder. You can be better every single day. Put in more effort, and you guarantee you're going to get more results. If you don't get more results, you become harder, as David Goggins says. You callous your mind. You build a castle in your mind. And no one can destroy your mind. If you have a powerful mind, nothing can stop you. Think about that. All the adversity, all the obstacles that get in your way now will never get in your way. It's like tunnel vision. You'll never be stopped. Nothing in your way will get in your way. Nothing that's in your way will stop you if you have a strong mind. So build up that mind, work harder, because you're not as good as you want to be. I know you're not as good as you want to be because you're watching this video, and I'm 100% not where I want to be. So every single day from here, I'm going to continue working hard. And if you're watching this video, you're going to do the same thing. Come back to this video if you need inspiration, but don't rely on it because you need to discipline yourself. So thanks for watching, and work hard. Work harder and harder and harder and harder.